glad you could join me again today. We're going to talk about trust issues today. And I think we all know that it's kind of hard sometimes in these days and times to know who we can trust. Newscasters go back and forth between following politics or social pressures. Ethics seem to be based on situations only instead of truth. And similarly, people seem to come and go. There just seems to be no consistent thing that we can place our expectation upon. And there's definitely a decline in integrity, causing us to wonder if the world's really just gone mad. But if you have a faithful family, a trustworthy friend, then you have a true blessing. I was reading the other day about emotional intelligence. They call it EI. And I came across a list of 6 types of people that we cannot trust. And I remember as a young girl, as a teenager, even as a child, my parents talking to me about the kind of people that I could trust and warning me and then encouraging me to be a trustworthy person. So as we go through this list, you may recognize some people in your life, or you may recognize yourself. Either way, it's time to take note and begin recognizing these 6 indicators that will keep you from hurt and warn you not to be hurtful. So let's not point too many fingers at other people until we check ourselves first. So the first type of person that you cannot trust are those who disguise insults as jokes. The people who say they're your friend, but they laugh and expose your weaknesses are really not your friend. These people are coming up from anger issues or jealousy, or may even feel trapped by your friendship and want to shake you off. They aren't really your true friends. Because a true friend will lift you up, won't they? They protect your character and they defend you. And you may laugh together about your weaknesses. You may have some inside jokes. But a true friend won't publicly make you the butt of their joke. They won't humiliate you and then act like it's nobody's fault or they shouldn't be even questioned. A true friend protects you. And the second type of people that we shouldn't trust are those who never take accountability, but always blame the problem on us. This type of friend will leave you high and dry, carrying the ball and without support. They want to make themselves look good, and they care little to nothing about your reputation. To them, you're just a stepping stone on the way to something bigger that they are desiring. But a good friend stays by your side. Even if something is your fault, they remain loyal and they walk through things with you. The third type of person is the person who says they want the best for you and then they work against you. And we used to call this being two-faced. It's also the description of what the Bible calls backbiting, those who are pleasant to your face but talk against you when you aren't around. And friends are people that sow discord and doubt about you into others, or to discredit you. They make themselves look big, or they think they do, but hopefully most people see through what they're doing. And you've heard them use the phrase, I wouldn't trust them as far as I can throw them. Well, this is that type of person. They will not keep your confidence. Instead, they will use it against you, and you should not put your trust in them. Because a good friend wants your good, and by every word and effort, they seek it. They don't speak badly of you behind your back. They look for ways to help you succeed, even if it isn't directly related to their benefit. They are your cheerleader if they're your good friend. The fourth type are those whose words and actions don't match. And you don't have to be around very long before you can see if words and actions match, do you? Hypocrites are alive and well, both inside the church and out. But big talk, or big talkers, are a sure sign of poor character. And a person whose words don't match their actions is a person to avoid, because you never know where they're going to land. You cannot trust them to keep their word or agreement, so it's just best to steer away from them as much as possible. It's very important that our words match our actions. If we say we love and care, then our actions should match. If we say we will help or provide, then we need to be keeping our word. And Proverbs 25:19 has an interesting way of describing this person. It reads, confidence in an unfaithful man in a time of trouble is like a broken tooth or a foot out of joint. The moment you rely on him, you encounter pain because he cannot be trusted. The fifth person is a person who plants seeds of doubt about you, disguised as something else like concern for you. And I personally saw this played out. This husband had a wife convinced that she could not hold a job and would not do well in society. He said he was protecting her from hurt and disappointment, and he had her convinced. So for over 25 years, she stayed dutifully at home, and he finally allowed her to get a job once the children were grown, and she succeeded greatly. She did a good job. But come to find out, he wasn't keeping her at home to protect her as much as to protect himself, because he was having an affair. And his decision to allow her to get a job was so that she could provide for herself, because he was leaving. So the seeds of doubt he planted now turned to anger in his wife, who'd remained faithful, believing that he had her best interest in heart. And her trust in his care and love was gone. We should always hear alarm bells when friends begin to plant doubt, especially when that leads to them having power or control over us. Because a good friend points out your strengths and builds you up. And if you have weaknesses, they point to them gently, but emphasize and build on your strengths. They help you have confidence, not self-doubt. And the sixth type of person we cannot trust is the person who is always trying to sabotage us or make things harder for us, but always has an excuse for everything. This person is like a stone wall blocking your progress. Their comments and advice are usually negative and restrictive. They don't show you a clear path forward. They want to keep you down and quiet and under their control. But a good friend opens paths for you, helps you with your hopes and aspirations, and finds ways to make things easier for you. Now, we've talked about 6 negative traits. You may have encountered them or even maybe live with them. So what are we to do? Well, where possible, reduce the time that you spend with people like this. Seek new friendships and learn that even hard situations can teach us new skills. So go away from them wiser. And check yourself first. Did you see any of yourself in these? Are you a good friend, or are you an unfaithful, untrustworthy one? If you see yourself in these things, then you need to take yourself to God in prayer and ask Him to change your attitude, to learn to guard your words, and for Him to nag you, to alter your behavior. He will nag you if you ask Him. Then you need to learn what it means to become trustworthy and make yourself accountable for the things you say and the way you treat people. Even if it hurts you, even if it costs you, it's a very valuable lesson and a quality you need to gain. Because to have good friends, you have to be a good friend. And this is our responsibility. We can't go around blaming others. We need to be accountable for our friendliness and our faithfulness to be a trustworthy friend. Now for the harder one. If you're married to one of these types of people, you must begin right where you are. You are committed, for better or for worse. This is your spouse. And most of these 6 types of people are acting out of self-doubt or pride. They may be acting out of fear or past hurts or insecurities. So give them some grace. If you know where they're coming from, the most loving thing you can do is not push their buttons. Instead, act and react toward them with grace and love, using the golden rule: do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. You will be accountable for that. And this is such a good guide for friendship and relationships. The golden rule. You need to memorize it. Do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. I was taught that as a young child, and it really does help you make decisions, and you need to teach it to your children. But that doesn't mean you're excusing their behavior, but it does mean you're making yourself accountable. You will never answer to God for the behavior of others, but you will answer for your own. So be the adult in the situation. Make yourself solely accountable before God and let Him teach you how to remain faithful, even if others are wayward. Trust issues are thwart with problems, aren't they? But we must remember where we're supposed to place our trust. People will fail, won't they? We fail, don't we? But Jesus never fails. So we need to keep our eyes solely on Him. He will help us to navigate the seas of relationships and give us wisdom in our friendships. He's the friend that sticks closer than a brother. And there are no trust issues with Jesus. I'll see you next week.